export contract. Shows you how to enter the billion-dollar markets available for your products across the world at a very discounted rate of 60,000 naira. The valuable materials that you get upon purchase include 2 manuals and 27 videos explaining and demonstrating how to use the manuals to find buyers abroad. We know you are elated already and interested in ordering for the Eureka Pack right away. Place your order via a WhatsApp chat to 0809 999 3142 or email to info@3timpex.com. You can get this pack for just 60,000 naira. Grab your copy now.
Tired of endless online searches just to find reliable export information for your products? Meet the Export Intelligence Platform, your one-stop shop for all export product information. Whether you're an intending exporter or already in the game, Export Intelligence Platform gives you up-to-date, comprehensive insights on over 100 export products. From export specifications to common pitfalls to avoid, market entry strategies, and packaging standards. No more guessing. No more scattered information. Get the intelligence you need to choose the right products, enter the right markets, and comply with the right standards, all in one place. Built for small businesses, trade professionals, and growing exporters, Export Intelligence Platform empowers you to grow your export business with confidence and stay ahead in global markets. Stop searching. Start exporting smarter. Visit the Export Intelligence Platform today and unlock the information advantage your export business deserves. Export Intelligence Platform, your one-stop shop for export product information.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program costs 1,200,000 naira
and runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you. At 3.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining tonight. Today we'll continue our conversation, and we're on to number 9. And today we are discussing cocoa butter, and the focus is on finding buyers for cocoa butter. Because Nigeria is a cocoa producing country, this then becomes necessary conversation that it is good for us to have. A necessary conversation that is good for us to have, considering the fact that this is an important product, rather, that Nigeria exports, and of course with good demand around the world. Even if you are not a producer of cocoa butter, like I've said again and again, you don't need to be a producer of the item you want to export. You can be a merchant who pretty much buy and of course sell the item. Who just buy and sell the item. Finding buyers for cocoa butter abroad. You can join our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade, Global Trade Tutor. Like, share, drop your comment. You can also get the link to this program on our Telegram platform, African Export Business Platform. Every week, we have about 8 segments in this conversation. Every week, we have 8 segments in this conversation. We have a preamble, which basically look at summary of what we've discussed before. If you're following our work, you will have seen that we've done series on how to export different items, series on how to export different items. And in doing that, we also have 8 segments like this. But for this, the focus is around the people. The preamble is on product description, characteristic, type, and uses. Then the people. The people basically focus on who is buying, what do they use it for, why are they buying. Purchaser, that basically focus on how to get buyers, contact of buyers who buy the item in question. Then protocol to follow in finding buyers. Protocol to follow in finding buyers. Potential demand. Potential demand. The market with high demands. Promotion. How do you promote in order to get the attention of buyers? And partition. By partition, I mean, what are the hindrances? What are the things that hinder businesses from gaining access to the export market? And then pitfall. What often go wrong in finding buyers? And how do we fix it? This is cocoa butter. You can see how it looks like and how it's packaged. You can drop your question and I'll answer them as the session is going on. So let's start. In exporting, you start with preparation. That's what we discussed on Thursday by 5 p.m. We are currently in episode 90 something. Let me check. We are in episode 95. We did bitter cola last week, 95. We'll be doing palm kernel oil this week. So that means this week we'll be doing episode 96. But on Tuesday, finding buyer, we are on episode 9. Similar timetable, but different focus. So we focus on number 1 on Thursday. We focus on number 2 on Tuesday. Number 1 and number 2 help you to get 3. And if you master 3, if you get 3, number 4 to 12 become a lot easier because those are part of the things you have learned in number 1. So you start with preparation, which give capacity for promotion, which help to get purchase order, which necessitate procurement or production, of which good product is then labeled and packaged. Pre-export documentation is done for shipment, legal shipment. Port clearance and inspection is done at origin. Post-export documentation is done before shipment. The document is attached to buyer while the good is en route to destination. Post-export clearance and inspection is done at destination, and then payment is made afterward. Cocoa butter is natural vegetable fat extracted from cocoa beans. It's obtained during the process of cocoa liquor, during processing of cocoa liquor, where the fat is separated from cocoa solid through pressing. The fat is separated from cocoa solid through pressing. Through pressing. Cocoa butter is highly valued worldwide for its unique properties, mild flavor, versatility across the food, cosmetics, and pharmaceutical industry. Cocoa butter is solid at room temperature. You can see the picture I showed you just now, but melt easily at body temperature, giving it a smooth, creamy feel. A smooth, creamy feel. This melting behavior makes it especially desirable in chocolate production and skincare products. It has a pale yellow to light ivory color and a mild, pleasant cocoa aroma. Chemically, cocoa butter is composed mainly of triglyceride derived from fatty acids such as stearic acid, palmitic acid, oleic acid, which contribute to its stability and texture. One key characteristic is the excellent oxidative stability, meaning it resists rancidity. You know, generally for oil, one of the challenges is becoming rancid, particularly when exposed to ultraviolet rays. It resists rancidity, so it's better than other vegetable oil or vegetable fat rather. These allow cocoa butter to have a long shelf life when stored properly and also not greasy to touch, despite being a fat, which explains its popularity in cosmetic. Certification include appearance, clean, uniform, pale yellow ivory color, free from impurities. Then we have the odor or taste, mild cocoa aroma, no off flavor or rancid smell. Free fatty acid is low. That's oleic acid, very low. Very, very low. Being high is a sign of rancidity. Moisture content below 0.1%, melting point at 50 degrees Celsius. Peroxide value low, generally below 5 milliequivalent per kg, indicating good freshness. Purity, free from foreign fat, contamination, adulteration. Food grade cocoa butter must also comply with international food safety standard, while cosmetic and pharmaceutical grade butter require additional purity and microbiological control. And a replacement for cocoa butter is shea butter. A replacement for cocoa butter is shea butter. And shea butter has been used as replacement, particularly when the price of cocoa went up the roof. A lot of people have to resort into using cocoa butter, shea butter, and shea butter price also went up. What are the uses of cocoa butter? Chocolate and confectionaries, cosmetic and personal care product, pharmaceuticals application, food industry, beyond chocolate, and then industrial and specialty uses. Cocoa butter is a premium natural fat prized for its stability, melting characteristics, and versatility. From luxury chocolate to everyday skincare product, its quality and purity are essential to meeting international market standard, making it an important value-added cocoa product in global trade. So who are the people that buy this product? Chocolate and confectionery manufacturers, food manufacturers in bakery, dessert, cotton, cosmetic and personal care company for cream, lotion, lip balm, soap, pharmaceutical company in suppository basis, topical formulation, nutraceutical and specialty food producer, functional bars or supplement, small business and DIY consumer, indie soap maker, crafter, industrial formulation houses and ingredient distributor, supply retailer and manufacturer, and other niche users like candle maker, research lab, and the like. Why do they use shea butter? Buyer choose cocoa butter. Buyer choose cocoa butter for its unique physical and sensory properties. It's solid at room temperature, but melt at body temperature. It gives chocolate its snap, mouthfeel, and is stable against oxidation with good shelf life. It's skin friendly, non-irritating, and carry a mild cocoa aroma that is often desirable. For food user, it's a key functional fat. For cosmetic and pharma, and it's natural and well-tolerated base. What do they use it for? Chocolate and confectionaries. Bulk of demand is in chocolate mass most of the time. Chocolate mask, cosmetics, moisturizer. moisturizer. Pharmaceutical, suppository base. Bakery, specialty coating. Small producer, handmade soap, candles, and high-end body product. When they buy, routine procurement. Large manufacturer often operate continuous contract, seasonal stocking, buyer increase ahead of peak sales season, which is usually Q3 to Q4 because of holiday. Spot buying, opportunistic purchase when price dip and edge or contract timing. Large processor negotiate long-term tie to beans harvest cycle and cocoa market movement. Which option do they buy? Food grade, refined deodorized, cosmetic grade, often similarly refined, plus microbial spec, pharmaceutical grade, higher purity and documentation. Forms, blocks and slabs, pellet granules, easier dosing, liquid fractionated fraction, and blend cocoa butter equivalent when cost of functional substitution is needed. Certification and spec, organic, fair trade, Rainforest Alliance, kosher, halal, lab spec such as FFA, peroxide, value, melting point, moisture, and absence of foreign fat are very important specifications. Pure prime pressed natural cocoa butter. This is mechanically pressed and retain the strong smell and taste of chocolate. Is preferred by dark milk chocolate manufacturer. The rose butter. This has been steam treated to remove the chocolate aroma and yellow color. Chocolate aroma and yellow color. It's standard for white chocolate, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. Where they buy from? Origin processors and exporters in West Africa. Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Latin America, Ecuador, and Brazil. Global ingredient trader and processor who supply industry brand. Regional distributor and importer in Europe, North America, India, China for local manufacturer. B2B platforms, brokers, trade agent for spot need, and direct long-term contract with pressing factories or integrated cocoa companies for steady supply and quality control. Let's move on to purchasers. I'm basically looking at how do we reach these purchasers. Cocoa butter purchasers are mainly industrial and commercial users, not end users. They buy cocoa as an ingredient, not a finished product. So it's part of the semi-processed product. And if you follow global trade data, you will realize that semi-processed product demand is growing. It's growing. It's growing and growing very fast. It's growing and growing very fast. If you look at, you notice that the intermediate product, low grade product, commodities are usually about 20 to 30%. Finished goods, about 20 to 30%. Intermediate product, about 40 to 60% of global trade. Global trade in goods is about 24 trillion. Services, 9 trillion, total 33 trillion. It's expected to rise to about 36, 37 trillion in 2025. Still waiting for the data of 2025. Buyer fall in 5 categories: chocolate and confectionery manufacturers, food and bakery processors, cosmetic and personal care company, pharmaceutical manufacturers, ingredient trader, distributor, and wholesaler. Each group buy cocoa butter for different reasons. in different volume and through different channels. Now, this is important, which is why I often say that it's important you know your product well enough to know the market segment, to know the people that are buying, why they are buying, so that you're also clear on who you are targeting when you are trying to sell. You are clear on who you are targeting when you are trying to sell, because you know exactly the people buying this product, you know exactly why they are buying, and you know exactly what to do to meet their demand. You know exactly what to do to meet their demands. If you don't know the different segment buying, then you might be shooting blindly. Because it's also important to know what is of interest to them. Chocolate and confectionery manufacturer, the largest segment. Chocolate is the major use of, has the largest use of cocoa. And is it not interesting? The global market demand for cocoa, the highest I've seen is about 20 billion, and that was when the price went up. It's coming down back to about 10, 15 billion now. But chocolate alone is over 40 billion. And chocolate is a derivative of cocoa. And most of the 75% of cocoa production is from West Africa. But chocolate is a major component with higher demand. But the people producing it are European and North America. They are the one producing the chocolate. European and North America. They are the one producing the chocolate. So, who are they? Multinational chocolate company, regional chocolate factory, artisanal chocolaters. What do they use butter for? Chocolate bars, coffee chocolate, filling, coating, confectionery products, buyer behavior, large volume, strict quality specification, long-term contract, often prefer pellet and blocks. How do you reach them? Direct B2B outreach to procurement team, cocoa and confectionery trade fair, supply through approved ingredient distributor. Where do you get buyers list? International Cocoa and Chocolate Association, trade fair exhibition list, industry directory, and LinkedIn procurement searches. International and LinkedIn procurement searches, sorry. Food and bakery processors. Another major buyer. Food and bakery processors. Who are they? Manufacturer of biscuit, pastries, ice cream, dessert, coating, and specialty fat. What they use cocoa butter for? Fat blend, dessert coating, bakery fat, specialty formulation. Buying behavior, medium to large volume. Often price sensitive. Sometimes accept cocoa butter equivalent. Like shea butter. Like shea butter. Like shea butter. Prefer reliable and steady supply. Reliable login and steady supply. Reaching them is through ingredient distributor, B2B ingredient platforms, food manufacturing trade fairs. You want to get the list of people in this category? You will find them on the Food Ingredient Exhibition Database, food ingredient exhibition database. National Food Manufacturer Association Import-Export Trade Directory. Import-Export Trade Directory. Cosmetics and Personal Care Company. Cosmetics and Personal Care Company. Cosmetics and Personal Care Company. Who are they? Skin brand cosmetic manufacturers, soap and lotion producers. They use cocoa butter for lotion, lip balm, soap, body butter, and of course, a product. Body butter, and of course, a product. Buying behavior. Buying behavior. Smaller but higher margin volume. Strong focus on purity, smell, and color. Demand cosmetic grade. Demand cosmetic grade. Interested in organic or ethically sourced product. How do you reach them? Email, LinkedIn outreach, cosmetic ingredient trade fair, online ingredient marketplace, and getting buyer list, cosmetic industry directories, exhibitor list for cosmetic ingredient fairs, and B2B ingredient sourcing platform. Pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceutical company and medical formulation firms. Pharmaceutical company and medical formulation firms. What do they use cocoa butter for? Suppository based and topical medicinal product. And topical medicinal product. Buying behavior, small but very high specific volume. Strict documentation and compliance, long approval cycle, often sourced through certified suppliers. How to reach them? Through pharmaceutical ingredient distributors, regulatory compliance supplier registration, pharma-focused trade exhibition, where to get buyers list, pharmaceutical manufacturing directory, approved supplier listing, and pharmaceutical ingredient trade platform. Pharmaceutical ingredient trade platform. Trader and distributor or wholesaler. Now, there's something about trader and distributors. You find them more. You know, I was at a session today and someone talked about the fact that margin for commodity is low and it's because of these middlemen. If you're able to reach the end user, you're likely going to get a better deal in terms of pricing. But if you are meeting these middlemen, of course, they want to make profit, right? So, going to put their margin in between, and that thin out the margin, particularly for commodities in the primary form. Commodity trader, ingredient distributor, importer, supplier of multiple industries. They supply different people. What do they use it for? They resell. They resell to food people, cosmetic people, pharmaceutical people. Buying behavior, flexible volume. Price and logistic focus, less brand sensitive, strong repeat purchase potential. So they are not very conscious of brand because they sell bulk and they know the people they are selling to are going to resell. How do you reach them? Direct B2B outreach, commodity trading platform, trade broker and agent. Where to get buyer leads? Commodity trade directory, Export Promotion Agency database. Import-export data platform. Import-export data platform. So let's look at the segment. Chocolate manufacturer, best channel to reach them, direct contact and trade fair. Key selling point, consistent quality and consistent adherence to specification. Food processors, you are best reaching them with distributors and B2B platform. Key selling point, price stability and supply stability. Cosmetics company, best channel is direct outreach and through trade fair. They are keen on purity and certification. Pharmaceuticals, they want certified distributor because of the sensitivity of what they are buying, what they are using it for rather. Key point is compliance and traceability. Compliance, traceability, compliance. Trader and distributor, they are basically brokers. Can read them through broker and directories. And the key selling point is volume and logistics of on-time delivery. What are the options for getting verified buyers list? Number one, trade fair and exhibition. Export promotion agencies, industry association, B2B sourcing platform, import-export data service, LinkedIn sales navigator, commodity broker agent at embassies and trade mission. These are different platforms you can use to reach buyers. Particularly these buyers. Now, cocoa butter are not one market. Cocoa butter buyer are not just in one market. Each segment value different things, like chocolater want performance and consistency, cosmetic firm want purity and story, pharmaceutical want compliance, and trader wants price, stability, and of course, reliability. What's the protocol to follow in finding buyer for chocolate? Number one, how do you choose the market? First is to ensure the market you are targeting, no prohibition there. Number two is to ensure the potential market. Where is the market demand? Number three, purchasers. Who are those buying there? Number four, personnel. Do you have a rep in that market? Number five, paperwork. What are the documentation requirements? Number six, pricing. What are the pricing elements? Number seven, packaging and labeling. And number eight, political economy. Number eight, political economy. How about the product itself? How about the product itself? What do you need to know about the product? If you look at the purpose, when we're talking about the purpose, so when you look at talking about the segment rather, you will notice that it's all related to the purpose why people buy. Some for food, for chocolate, for pharmaceutical, for cosmetics, and also of other uses. And all these influence the market segment. Purpose. What do they use it for? Parameters. What are the specifications? Potential. Where is the demand? Purchaser. Who are those buying? Packaging. How do I keep it in optimal condition destination? Paperwork. What are the documentary requirements? Pricing. What are the cost elements? And pitfall. So as usual, we look at the export product intelligence platform, and then we check some of these characteristics for cocoa butter. So let's search for cocoa butter on the platform. Cocoa butter. And to be able to learn more about this product, cocoa butter. To be able to learn more about this product. For those that want to check on your phone, I've dropped the link for you. So if you view data for cocoa butter, here is cocoa butter. Here is the product sample. the secondary packaging, the tertiary packaging, and loading inside container. So you need to know the purpose, what do they use it for, which inform the market segment, like I said earlier. Then, who are the buyers? What is the potential demand? What does it look like? Because knowing the purpose gives you an idea of the market segment, but knowing the potential lets you know who are the top buyers. Number one, what is even the global demand? Now, if you are going to be promoting, which market are you supposed to be targeting with your promotion? Which market are you supposed to be targeting with your promotion? The network is a bit slow. Which market are you supposed to be targeting with your promotion? Global demand 13.6 billion in 2024. The major buyer is in Germany. The major buyer is in Germany, followed by Belgium, followed by France, followed by Netherlands, United States, Netherlands, Poland, United Kingdom, Italy, Canada, Switzerland. These are the top 10 countries in the world with a good demand for this item. Top 10 countries in the world with a good demand for this item. It's important to know the pricing, which basically has to do with cost element and how to arrive at a profitable price. Then the parameter. What are the specifications? Fatty acid content, moisture content, peroxide value, melting point, color, odor, impurities. What are the parameters? How about the paperwork, documentation requirement, and then packaging? How do you ensure you keep this product in optimal condition to destination? Using food-grade primary packaging, low moisture protection, oxygen barrier control, temperature-stable packaging, odor-free liners, strong panelization, cleanliness and hygiene compliance, clear labeling and traceability, optimized container loading to keep the item in optimal condition to destination. How about the promotion? If you are promoting this item, you need to meet the quality standard. Segment buyer by industry, like I've done, because that shows you where you should be targeting depending on your strategy. Promote product grade clearly based on specification. Attend trade fairs. Use professional export packaging material. Leverage B2B platform. And I'll be talking about that later on. And then the pitfall. What can go wrong and how do you overcome it? High free fatty acid, oxidation and rancidity, high moisture content, odor and flavor being unacceptable, color inconsistent, adulteration constant, packaging and storage failure, contamination in foreign matter are all what can go wrong in trying to find buyer for this item. All what can go wrong in trying to find buyer for this item. In trying to find buyer for this item. So you can always visit the Export Product Intelligence platform to get information about your product. This is so important. To get information about your product, because knowing your product is critical to finding buyers, because it's going to influence the way you go about promotion. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be talking about the potential market, the promotion, the partition or barrier to entering the market, and then we'll end off with pitfall.
Tired of endless online searches just to find reliable export information for your products? Meet the Export Intelligence Platform, your one-stop shop for all export product information. Whether you're an intending exporter or already in the game, Export Intelligence Platform gives you up-to-date, comprehensive insights on over 100 export products. From export specifications to common pitfalls to avoid, market entry strategies, and packaging standards. No more guessing, no more scattered information. Get the intelligence you need to choose the right products, enter the right markets, and comply with the right standards, all in one place. Built for small businesses, trade professionals, and growing exporters, Export Intelligence Platform empowers you to grow your export business with confidence and stay ahead in global markets. Stop searching. Start exporting smarter. Visit the Export Intelligence Platform today and unlock the information advantage your export business deserves. Export Intelligence Platform, your one-stop shop for export product information.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month, hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program costs 1,200,000 naira and runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you. All right, let's move on to potential. Let's move on to potential. In finding buyer for products, it's important to identify the market with potential. It's important to identify the market with potential. And data revealed that to us. In 2023, it was 6.1 billion. In 2024, because of increase in price of cocoa, it was double. As you saw in the chart I showed you earlier. Germany, Belgium, United States, France are major buyer. Major demand is actually within. Major demand is actually within Europe. The Europeans are the major buyer of this product, followed by North America. United States being a leader in demand because of the quantum of chocolate produced in United States. Because of the quantum of chocolate produced in United States. Then we have Asian, $605 million. Followed by Oceania, 123. South America, 91. Of course, Africa is low because Africa is the one producing, right? Promotion. So how do we promote? Number one, position the cocoa butter as a value-added product. Unlike raw cocoa butter offers high margin and appeal to multiple industries, so exporters should clearly communicate its performance benefit. Smooth melting profile, oxidative stability, versatility, neutral taste in the promotional material. Number 2, meet and communicate international quality standard. Meet and communicate international quality standard. Quality is one of the strongest selling tools in export market. Exporter must promote cocoa butter with clearly defined specification, the free fatty acid level, the peroxide level, the melting point, the moisture content. Segment the market in your promotion. Are you targeting the chocolate maker or cosmetic brand or pharmaceuticals or traders? Who exactly are you targeting? Segment the market and target the right buyer. Use fair trade or industry exhibition strategically. Sorry, use trade fairs rather. Exporters should exhibit product sample in fairs, prepare technical data sheets and specification summary, focus on relationship building, follow up aggressively after the event. Even attending as a visitor can generate strong lead if the meeting are planned in advance. Leverage B2B platforms. Giga promotion is now essential. Cocoa butter exporter can list product on B2B platform. Direct email outreach to procurement managers and sourcing team remain effective. LinkedIn is particularly useful for reaching decision makers in food, cosmetic, pharmaceutical companies. Offer flexible product forms and packaging. Buyer prefers suppliers who make production easy. Promoting multiple options like pellet, blocks, slab, and liquid form increase attractiveness. So packaging sizes should match buyer's need, which is why you need to study the buyer to know in what form they want the product and even how they want it to be packaged for them. Highlight sustainability and ethical sourcing. Exporters should promote responsible sourcing practice, farmer engagement and origin transparency, availability of sustainable certification where applicable. And these certifications are becoming more and more necessary, particularly in Europe. Use competitive pricing and transparent cost structure. Price remain important. Underpricing can damage credibility. So exporters should promote cocoa butter with competitive but realistic pricing supported by transparent explanation of quality, processing level, and of course, the logistic cost. Partner with distributors. Not all buyers can be reached directly. Partnering with ingredient distributor, commodity traders, export agents help exporter penetrate new market because the distributor, even though they are going to make a cut, but they have a wide network of people they supply to, and that can open you up to that market. That can open up to that market. Build trust through consistency and follow-up. In export trade, trust sells more than advertising. In export trade, trust sells more than advertising. Regular communication, prompt response, reliable delivery schedule, consistent quality turn first timer into a repeat customer. And this is very important. You know, as of the session again today, and someone was talking about the fact that sometimes these people buy and then they don't come back afterwards. And I said, the whole essence of this is to build relationship. And you need to do that with more than one organization. Very critical. Do it with more than one organization. This is very important. Build trust. Sellers should promote themselves as long-term partner, not transactional seller. Some people position themselves as transactional seller, not for a long-term relationship. They position themselves as transactional seller, not for a long-term relationship. And that's very important. Promoting and selling cocoa butter in export market require more than listing products for sales. It involves strategic positioning, market segmentation, quality assurance, target market outreach, and relationship building. What are what you can call partition or what you can call barriers to entering the market? What you can call partition or barrier to entering the market? Overcoming non-tariff barrier, NTBs, affecting cocoa butter exporters. Non-tariff barriers affecting cocoa butter exporters. Non-tariff barriers affecting cocoa butter exporters. Number one, street quality technical standard. Number two, food safety and hygiene regulation. Number three, import country regulatory approval. Number four, certification and documentation requirement. Number five, packaging and labeling requirement. Number six, the usual sanitary and phytosanitary measure. Number seven, sustainability and ethical sourcing. Number eight, complex custom procedures and delays. Number one, street quality and technical standard. Many importing countries require cocoa butter to meet defined free fatty acid, peroxide value, melting point, moisture, purity. You will notice this has been consistent. Free fatty acid, peroxide value, melting point, moisture, purity. This is why street quality control is necessary, routine laboratory testing and certificate of analysis is necessary to avoid rejection at destination, aligning production with international recognized standards. Food safety and hygiene regulation. Cocoa butter is used for food and therefore must comply with food safety laws. Poor sanitation and lack of traceability can block entry. So adopting a good manufacturing practice and basic food safety system like HACCP, maintain batch record traceability from raw beans to finished product, and regular audit. Import country regulatory approval. Some countries require prior registration and approval. So work with import or agent to obtain regulatory guidance ahead of shipment. Certification and documentation requirement. Buyer often demand certifications such as organic certification, sustainability, food safety, lack of proper export document. Exporters should understand documentation needs early and prepare them correctly. Packaging and labeling requirement. Incorrect packaging material and mislabeled information such as product name, origin, batch number, storage, instruction. Study packaging and labeling rule of target market. Use food grade packaging materials. Can always share deal with buyer ahead to agree on what the packaging and labeling requirements should be. Sanitary and phytosanitary measure. Even processed product like cocoa butter may be subject to SPS control, even though it's not in the primary state, particularly contamination check and import inspection. So clean processing environment, proper storage condition, obtaining health and phytosanitary certificate where required, and cooperate fully with inspection authority. In the case of butter, you definitely will need a NAFDAC health certificate. Sustainability and ethical sourcing requirement. Many buyers now require proof that butter is ethically and sustainably sourced.
particularly from premium market. So develop traceability system and develop and document sourcing practices. Even without formal certification, exporters should communicate sustainability effort clearly and, of course, honestly. Complex and custom procedure and delay. Lengthy custom procedure and delay clearance can increase costs. So we work with our clients and holding them in our export mentoring program, and that can help you to minimize this delay and risk. In summary, invest in lab testing, digitize supply chain traceability, implement HACCP or GMP, partner with knowledgeable logistic agent to avoid the partition. Pitfall, what can go wrong and how do we mitigate it? Number one, promoting butter as a generic commodity. Pitfall in finding buyer. Many exporters market cocoa butter simply as cocoa butter for sale. Why does it hinder sales? Serious buyers want to know how the product fits their production process. So generic production makes exporters look inexperienced. So how do you mitigate this? Position the butter by application. For example, chocolate grade, cosmetic grade, pharmaceutical grade, and clearly state key specification and benefit, which means you must have taken it to lab for analysis. You should know the quality inspection. People want to export product, they don't know the quality specification of the item they want to export. And some see it as a burden to go and test the item they want to sell, to be able to know what you are selling. Poor or missing technical information. Exporters fail to share technical information like free fatty acid again, peroxide again, melting point again, moisture again, deodorized level, impurity. Without technical data, buyer cannot assess suitability and get approval or get internal approval. So prepare for professional product data sheet and certificate of analysis. Prepare it and include them in every buyer conversation because everybody is keen on this quality specification. Targeting the wrong buyer segment. That's why you need to know the segment. You are sending message to chocolater, cosmetic brand, pharmaceutical company, and trader at the same time, selling the same product. Who are you interested in selling to? And then, couch your message in that regard so that it's easier to reach them. Why does this hinder sale? Different buyers have different needs. A one-size-fits-all pitch appears careless. A one-size-fits-all pitch appears careless. Segment buyer and customize your pitch for each group, focusing on what matters the most to them. Weak online presence and credibility. No professional website, outdated social media pages, or poor quality visuals. This is not a good way to want to sell. You need a website, a professional website. Your social media page should be regularly updated with new information, at least once a week. It's supposed to be every day, but at least once a week. Why it hinder buyer? International buyer often verify supplier online. A weak digital presence raises trust concern. So maintain a clean website, show specification, certification, packaging, origin, contact detail. Use LinkedIn professionally. Overemphasis on price rather, and undercutting. Trying to win buyer by offering the cheapest price without explaining value. Extremely low price signal poor quality. Compete on quality, don't compete on price. Compete on consistency, don't compete on price. Compete on documentation and service, don't compete on price. Use quality, consistent documentation and service to justify pricing. Inability to answer buyer's question promptly. I was talking to a mentee recently who did his first shipment and he was talking about the fact that when he started talking to a buyer that eventually he shipped to, they were mentioning some terms. He had to go and get his note on shipping terms so that when the guy is talking some of those terms, he will not look lost and he can easily know, okay, this means this. If he's saying FOB, this is what it means. If he gives me an FOB price, these are the implications. If he's giving me a CIF price, this is the implication. If he's giving me a DD price or DAP price, these are the implications.
Buyer interpret delay as lack of seriousness or capacity. You also have to respond early. In fact, for me, it's not within 24 hours. Why? Do not respond. You should respond in less than 12 hours. Particularly if it's a B2B platform. You are not the only one they are talking to, by the way. You are not the only one. So, if you are on the platform and you get notification, many other persons on that platform are getting the same notification. So, the earlier you respond, the better. Ignoring certification and compliance expectation, not understanding which certification are required or prefer in target market. Why? Many buyers cannot proceed without compliance documentation. Research the target market requirement, obtain key certification, or partner with certified processors who have this certification. Poor packaging and presentation. Using unsuitable, attractive, or non-attractive packaging for sample. Packaging reflects professionalism and product care. So use clean food-grade packaging and label sample clearly with specs and batch number. No follow-up after initial contact. Please note, the more you follow up a buyer, the higher the chance of sales. The more you follow up a buyer, the higher the chance of sales. The more you follow up a buyer, the higher the chance of sales. Anybody not following up is no more on the radar. They are going to give attention to people that are in their face. They are going to give attention to people that are in their face. Failing to follow up after sending sample. Many buyers expect structured follow-up. Silence suggests disinterest, that you are disinterested. So create a follow-up schedule with polite reminder and value-added update. Lack of long-term relationship focus. Treating export as one-off sales instead of partnership. Buyer prefers suppliers who can support long-term production and planning, communicate supply capacity. That's why when you are sending a message, you send a full corporate offer that have this information. Communicate willingness to build long-term contracts. Most cocoa butter fail, not because of product quality, but because of weak promotion, poor communication, lack of buyer-centric thinking. By improving technical presentation, targeting the right buyer, building credibility, focusing on relationship rather than quick sales, exporter can significantly increase buyer's interest and close more sales. You can drop your question in the chat while we round off.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program cost 1,200,000 naira.
And runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you.
This video will be on our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade and Global Trade Tutor, within the next 24 hours, so you can always go back to it. There's a playlist there on finding buyers, and you can always get the previous episode. Remember, this is episode number 9. Next week, we're going to be talking about palm oil. Next week, we're going to talk about palm oil. How do I get cocoa butter supplier in Nigeria? You will get some in Akure. There are people processing it in Ondo State. So if you go to Akure, you will get some. And if you Google, I'm sure you will find online. But I know there are some in Ondo. and Akure, Ondo town and Akure. Ondo State is a major source of cocoa in southwestern Nigeria. So next we are discussing palm oil. Finding buyer for palm oil, that's on March 24. That's next week, Tuesday. March 24, next week, Tuesday. African Export Business Platform on Telegram. That is our Telegram channel where you can get linked to this program every week. Someone said, where do I get test analysis done? You can check Google African Quality Assurance Center. It's on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. It's operated by Veritas, African Quality Assurance Center. They call it ACAC, African Quality Assurance Center, ACAC. If you Google them, you'll find the address on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. You can do your testing with them. You can join us tomorrow on radio with Zenith Bank, Export 360. It starts by 6:30 to 7. 6:30 to 7, we discuss Export 360, powered by Zenith Bank on Nigeria Info 993. On Nigeria Info 993.
Tired of endless online searches just to find reliable export information for your products? Meet the Export Intelligence Platform, your one-stop shop for all export product information. Whether you're an intending exporter or already in the game, Export Intelligence Platform gives you up-to-date, comprehensive insights on over 100 export products. From export specifications to common pitfalls to avoid, market entry strategies, and packaging standards. No more guessing, no more scattered information. Get the intelligence you need to choose the right products, enter the right markets, and comply with the right standards, all in one place. Built for small businesses, trade professionals, and growing exporters, Export Intelligence Platform empowers you to grow your export business with confidence and stay ahead in global markets. Stop searching. Start exporting smarter. Visit the Export Intelligence Platform today and unlock the information advantage your export business deserves. Export Intelligence Platform, your one-stop shop for export product information. Tired of
Congratulations, your search for buyers abroad is over. Through the help of the Eureka Pack. The Eureka Pack helps you do 7 things in order to get buyers abroad. It shows you how to 1. Get prepared to get buyers abroad. 2. Get the online tools to deploy to get buyers abroad. 3. Get list of markets with demands for your products. 4. Get the list of importers in that market. 5. Get the contacts of importers in that market. 6. Get the export contracts from the contact details of the importers. 7. Get favorable export contract terms. The Eureka Pack shows you how to enter the billion-dollar markets available for your products across the world at a very discounted rate of 60,000 naira. The valuable materials that you get upon purchase include 2 manuals and 27 videos explaining and demonstrating how to use the manuals to find buyers abroad. We know you are elated already and interested in ordering for the Eureka Pack right away. Place your order via a WhatsApp chat to 0809 999 3142 or email to info@3timpex.com. You can get this pack for just 60,000 naira. Grab your copy now. Congratulations.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program costs 1,200,000 naira and runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you.
Someone is asking, will I have access to all the products on the list for 10,000? No. There is an annual subscription of 10,000 per product. So, typically many people want 1, 2, or 3 products, and you can always go there. You can download the graphics. We can always come back to check
and it's 10,000 per product. All right, thank you very much, everyone. See you next week, or see you tomorrow, or see you on Thursday. Have a great week ahead, and bye-bye.